Hello, this is Goto. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. Today I actually did a good amount of stuff between episodes. One of these is technically not something I technically did, but Rutile is finished all processing up, so if we search for Rutile in our storage, we don't have any. And down here in our vacuum freezer output chest, vacuum freezer EBF anyways, we have a ton of titanium ready to go, so it's like, woo! Look at all of that. So I'm just gonna stuff it in there. Also, I changed my input chest over here to the white ender chest, and now I carry the white ender pouch around with me, and that's just so I can, when I'm out in a just out and about, I can also deposit stuff into my storage as well as withdrawing it with the remote order and white, blue, black bag over there. I found a few actually pretty significant upgrades today, or prior to this episode. Let me talk about those. So I found in a dungeon, I was just looking around in dungeon. I was trying to find villages to find peace candles to fix our kerfuffle down here with mobs spawning in the place where we want to do our Thaumcraft stuff. But what I ended up finding instead was Boots of the Traveler, and I found an enchanted book with multi-jump 3 on it. So not only can we now run this quickly, we can also jump this high, and we can double jump. In fact, we can double jump so much that we can gain altitude without, having to hit the floor. So we can basically just fly now. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. We're flying up to our... We're gonna make it up to our Astral Sorcery Island. But yeah, there we go. That was just something I found in a dungeon, so... Explore your dungeons, y'all. Anyways... that was something I wanted to make eventually with Thaumcraft, but now that's one less thing I'm going to have to make. Still pleased that we found those. And then one other significant thing I found in the dungeon was the Repair Talisman. This is an item that if you keep it in your inventory or on your bauble slot, it will repair everything in your inventory at a pretty quick rate. Like here, let me get this my thaumium drill out here, and look at the durability on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 1 durability a second, and it applies to all items in your inventory. So like, we have the mana tablet in here. If we wanted, we could just like not carry the mana tablet, and this could probably upkeep our armors. Even though our armor doesn't have super high durability, that could probably keep our armor restored. Our boots, by the way, came with mending, but not that we need it with the Repair Talisman, but still, that's a pretty nice upgrade. I don't know that there's that many nicer things we could really find in a dungeon, so pretty pleased about that. Anyways, I set up Moonstone to turn into Endstone over here, where we were doing sand into clay before. I just capped off the Liquid Starlight and the lava for now. And right now this is putting Moon Turf over here. So here's Moon Turf coming into a mechanical user, which is set to place block. And then otherwise the setup is the same with the scanner now reading Endstone. And then the barrel down here being a barrel to collect Endstone. As you can see, so far we have 600 Endstone, which is not bad. And then down here is our clay barrel. It's still down there, but if we need more clay, we can hook that back up. But we have probably enough clay as to where we're gonna probably have a better setup by the time we go and actually need that much clay. And it was just eating there. I noticed my health was a little low. Let's see. Stellar and Terra Steel made. Did I do Terra Steel? I don't think I actually did Terra Steel. Yeah, so I was gonna do Terra Steel. Terra Steel is made in a vacuum freezer with liquid helium, and then the ingot is made in the blast furnace with mana steel, mana diamond, and unstable mana. However, and we have the power and the heat capacity for this. However, the thing I was going to use Terra Steel for, I was going to use it to make... Oh wow, these are some actually kind of crazy tools. Whoa. How's the weapon? The weapon's not like strong damage-wise, but tool-wise, these tools are kind of crazy. Axe with 12,000 durability. You like snap? It's pretty good. The Terra Steel knife with 20 damage is actually kind of ridiculous over there as well. It attacks so quickly too. Anyways, um, the thing I was going to use Terra Steel for was to make it into um, the agglomeration plate, and the agglomeration plate we were going to use to make resonating gems, and then resonating gem I was going to use to make this guy, floating crystal, celestial collector crystal, so that we could upgrade our Lucerna ritual, and then we could be free of mobs. But then um, I realized, as well as having Terra Steel, we also need to have Raw Demon Eye from Blood Magic. So I'm like, So I looked at Raw Demon Eye. It comes from this Raw Stone, which we need Demon Will crystals, and there's 3 ways to get that. So we can set up a Demon Will ritual combo that kind of farms animals or creatures into Demon Will. Um, which is like, it's certainly a thing we can do. Um, the other thing is to get this vitriolic sand, vitrified sand, which we cannot get yet. I think that's from a different planet, in a different star system. And then the third option is to make a crucible. The blood magic crucible. But the problem is, this needs 400 will. And the gem that has 400 will is going to be the common target gem, which needs freaking, wouldn't you know, a Thaumcraft infusion. So basically, we're like completely shit out of luck as far as trying to upgrade our Lucerna ritual without actually, you know, doing Thaumcraft first. So I did a compromise. I just made another. I just made another ritual, and then I used my second Lucerna crystal. This is a Lucerna crystal. I just threw my second Lucerna crystal out here. So now, what are these materials out here? Oh, those are just like laser creeper drops. Anyways, now there is no more spawning in another huge radius like here, right? So there will definitely be no interruptions when we go to start building our Thaumcraft stuff over here. And guess what we're doing today? That's right, we are going to be doing exactly that. Did I talk about Stellar Alloy? I don't think so. Stellar Alloy was a alloy that comes from minerals that are in space. So you use Stardust and Surge Quartz, as well as Infinity Dust, which we've had access to, Fluix Dust, which we've been able to make, and Melted Glowstone, and it makes us some Stellar Alloy. And the fun thing about this is that it takes forever to cook. Look at this. Almost 6 minutes at MV power with nichrome coils. Or if we put some argon in there, a very small amount of argon too, that's like 2.5 centrifuge cycles from gassy egg. But anyways, that small amount of argon saves us 2 whole minutes off that recipe, which is crazy. So I did a couple stacks of that. We are going to be needing stellar alloy as part of materials for AE2. So I did AE2 preparation materials. Over here I've been doing like printed circuits. The way you make the printed circuits in this mod pack is that you have to have a skystone lens, which I got some skystone out of my orbital miner, sliced it into plates in the cutting saw, and then I put it in the lathe and got a skystone lens. And then with the skystone lens, you can use that to get the formation cores, which, to be honest, this is going to be a little annoying getting these Restonia crystals. Formation cores from this. the annihilation cores as well. Though I'm looking at, I'm like, what do we need formation cores and annihilation cores for again? I thought you need them for interfaces, but I guess I am misremembering, or they are not. Conversion monitor? Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, conversion monitor needs a formation and annihilation core, and you need one of those for interface. Okay, anyways. Yeah, these Restonia and Payless crystals are going to be a little annoying because we have to get them from two sources. We can get these little shards from gallium and lapis, or we can get them from pulverizing the blocks that come from our little laser mining drill, which I already went and did some. So if I would go look at crystal, you can see we have some crystal shards here. Not terribly a lot, but like it's something. I'm just taking what we can combine into blocks for now. So there's how many Restonia crystals we have. Here's how many Payless crystals we have, and here's how many Void crystals we have. Void crystals are used for some other things, but they are a useful thing to have. These, however, we're going to be converting basically all of them into annihilation and formation cores. Just going to be sticking them there for now. I also made a bunch of silicon, printed excuse me, printed silicon chips here. So now together with these printed circuits, we can go and we can do circuits, not circuit, what are they called? Processors. We can go ahead and get a stack of all of these going. That's just going to send the order over to our assembly machine, and we're going to have a ton of pre-made AE2 stuff ready to go. Why is this not crafting? Oh no, I have made a big mistake. This is supposed to be hydrochloric acid, not polyethylene. Oopsie. Yeah, that's a big yikes here. Also, you can see I added another crafting manager here because this one was getting full. So I added a new crafting manager here, and this one is just full of AE2 parts so far. But yeah, let's fix that. Hydrochloric acid. Yeah, that one. Okay. Gonna have to fix this one. Hydrochloric. I'm just gonna pull it up here so I can just drag it over like that instead of typing it in the filter a bunch of times. Okay, so what else is in here that's supposed to be using that? I think this one's also supposed to be using hydrochloric. Yeah. Okay. None of these other ones are supposed to be using hydrochloric acid, right? Well, the speculative processor does, but I don't... Speculative processor is not used for anything, so we're fine on that front. Let's get some cells. We're gonna have to clean up this mess that we made with our polyethylene. I guess I'm just gonna take the polyethylene and turn it into sheets. But we're gonna need some hydrochloric acid also. So let's go down here and get some cell. And this is gonna handle acids, right? Yeah, I can. Okay, good. Also, I put my magnet down here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. I like went on my dungeon adventure without my magnet. It was a little annoying, actually. Okay, hydrochloric acid is... What are you? Liquid lithium is low. Hold on a second. Does that mean we are not producing... Uh-oh. We have ran out of liquid lithium. That is not good. Where is lithium used in this step? Yes, okay. So let's fix that quickly because that's actually kind of a big problem because our fuel production is currently off So we're gonna just stick this here. Lithium. We need tiny lithium for that, right? Yeah, so tiny lithium. That's the recipe. Just one lithium dust makes 9 of them. And then we are going to put a supplier. I guess that was sitting in the chest over there, wasn't it? Alright, we're going to put a supplier over here. We are just going to have it stock lithium, tiny lithium. 8 of them. Not too many, because this is taking 10 buckets for each one of them. And if we get lithium over here, this lithium comes from centrifuging brine for salt water. So we can continue using that lithium if we don't overload this machine with other lithium from other places. So that's going to be probably the ideal setup there. We'll continue processing excess lithium once we have it over here in the centrifuge, but otherwise we will have the lithium provided from our barrel up here. This is our old supply of electrolyzed lithium from clay. So have we finished talking about this stuff? Oh, I haven't talked about the helium loop here. So I set up a basic little loop here. You can't really see them because all of these hatches are pointed downwards, or they're pointed into each other. But there is an input hatch here with helium. This accepts helium to be topped off from our processing over there. But it only tops it off to about halfway full of this input hatch. So this hatch, this output hatch, is locked to only accept liquid helium as the output of the multi-block. And this actually feeds, it's turned to feed directly into another input hatch here. So now this input hatch can function in the vacuum freezer as a recipe. And these recipes require liquid helium plus some very hot ingot, I guess. It's a super hot ingot? I don't know. But we get half the helium back, and then we get the ingot cooled down as well. So because we get half the helium back, this hatch over here is locked to helium gas, and it outputs back into this one, and this one should never be full. So we should be able to recycle and reuse that half helium we get back, no problem. And yeah, that is the helium loop, and that's what I had built for TerraSteel, but then I didn't end up making TerraSteel. And then the final thing I made over here was prepping for the handy bag, which is like all of these ingredients right here. So let's go ahead and go make that. I've actually been looking at those ingredients and being like, yo, I would like to use that, but I did finish making those magnesium diboride wires. So now we can just go ahead, toss this up here. Whoa, hold on, buddy. That is not the bag I wanted you to use. Okay, that was almost a disaster there. And looks like we need a lot more starlight, but we could wait for night, or we could also just have those give us some more starlight. How about you give us more? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And I sped the altar up too much. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, there we go. There's the handy bag. And yeah, we just opened our inventory and it's like, holy mother. Look at all this now. So I guess let's show off how this works. Basically, this is our new inventory. We can put these cards up here. And then these cards are extra storages. So if I put like this, oops, those do not unstack now. Oh well. Let me go back and just stick those in storage. Anyways, can we equip this? Don't think we can actually equip this. So we need this in our bag somewhere. And while this is in our bag, we have some extra functionality here. So we have some storage here where we can have it restocking into our inventory. We can just disable the bag, actually. We could have it so we have to like right click the bag to open it, just like a regular storage bag. Pickup mode, we can have, I guess we can have items automatically go in here. Like if they match what's already in there. Shift click behavior is going to move stuff to the bag, okay. Move between inventory and hotbar. What's the normal behavior? Now that I am looking at this and I'm like, huh, what normally happens? I guess it moves us to the hotbar, huh? I don't really use that, to be honest, so I'm just going to keep it on shift to move to bag. Update items enabled. I don't know what that means. Sort items, okay. That's just a sorting feature. Sort player inventory, okay. Fill stacks, move matching items, move all items. Leave one stack of every item type. Move matching items except hotbar. Hold shift to include hotbar. And then move all items except hotbar. Okay. Fill all existing stacks, move matching, move all. All right, well, that's how this works. It's just kind of like a advanced inventory storage, except check this out. Now we can get all of our junk out of our thing, and do you see this? This has stacks up to 4,000 items in one slot. So yeah, that's right, 4,000 in one slot. So all of those torches that were strewn in here, they're all right there now. So yeah, I'm just gonna really quickly dump out this bag because this bag, while it's been great, has it's a little annoying to use. So let's just get all this stuff out of here and start transferring in to here. This is just gonna be like my tools and stuff. I'm gonna need to organize this a little better, but for now. Oh, and I totally forgot. Sorry. Hydrochloric acid. Oh my goodness. That poor assembler, I left it hanging. Okay, let's go get the hydrochloric acid before I forget again. Hydrochloric acid, we keep that... Where do we keep that? Over here? Yep, okay. There it is. Alright. Oh, wrong machine. There we go. Let's dump that in there, and I'm gonna just give it a good old accelerate so I can add more acid as I need to. Go over here, add more polyethylene. Take the sheets out. We are going to need more, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm just letting this finish up because otherwise it's going to be forever waiting for those items to craft up there. Alright, one more round of acceleration should finish up these processors, or it should drain my battery. Oh man. Yeah, this battery is not going to make it. Or is it? Is it? Is it? Oh, look at that. 4 seconds remaining. That's amazing. I had the spare one to swap it, but didn't end up needing to do that. Okay, so we got that recipe fixed, and we got those circuits out of there. I'm excited when we get to AE2 because you can actually cancel a craft when you decide, hey, this craft is messed up, or hey, I don't actually want this. Yeah, you can actually just cancel it instead of having to go make it figure its life out. I assume there's a way to cancel logistic pipe requests, but I don't want to, like, if it involves breaking and replacing pipes, I don't really want to mess around with that. Anyway, so we've got a ton of logic and engineering and calculation processors. These are used for all sorts of stuff for AE2 crafting. So this is used for the storage monitor, which is used for the conversion monitor, which is used for the ME interface, which is going to be a very important item for us. Logic processor is used for making all sorts of things. Namely, what is the important thing here that it's used for? I mean, the I/O port is useful, but like, I think I'm missing some stuff. Oh, here we go. Storage components, yes. These are basically our chests for AE2, and so having enough processors to make those is going to be very important. And engineering processors are used for, let's see, what are they used for? Pattern terminal is going to be important. An ultimate encoder. That will probably be important at some point. The pattern multi-tool. I actually saw that. That's a cool looking tool. Wireless setup kit, wireless connectors. And, oh yeah, the controller over here uses... Wait, what am I looking at even? This doesn't use, oh, it's the catalyst over here, okay. Well, so yeah, we have a ton of those things ready to go. I might put some storage together just to get our stuff a little bit more organized for AE2 as well as for Thaumcraft. So really quickly moving this anvil. I do not know why it takes so long to break. That was crazy. Just gonna have it over here next to our crafting setup. And this is probably where we'll have AE2 stuff. So let's do a chassis. Let's do a item sync modules, which I'm actually going to change to be a... We're going to change one of these to a mod-based item sync, and then we're going to change one to provider. So stick this here. Let's get a nice big chest. Gold chest should be good enough. Let's throw the provider module in here. And then in the mod-based item sync, I am going to put... we need to supply an item from the mod. Do I have any AE2 stuff in my inventory? Does not look like I do. Okay. Certus. This is an AE2 item, so there we go. We put that in there. It should start bringing the stuff over. Let's also get Neve's, dual interface. Get AE2 fluid crafting added in here. And then let's also get Neve's stuff in here as well. Where is it? Here we go. Neve's AE2 extended life add-ons. So now anything from these mods should start shooting over into here because of our quick start modules and our storage. And hopefully we don't have an obscene amount of stuff that fills up these just instantly. I'm going to do something similar with our Thaumcraft stuff, and because our Thaumcraft stuff is going to be way over here, I'm probably going to run a pipe just under the ground and just let it send stuff over there. It's going to be a quick-ish process. I'll probably pause and do that off camera. Anyways, we've done our handy bag. So yeah, I already talked about why we can't get the agglomeration plate. And so yes, it is time for Thaumcraft, finally. So I'm gonna go dig a tunnel really quick and then start building a little Thaumcraft area out there. Set a little portal up out there. Don't think you want to watch me do that. Or you might, I don't know. But I kind of want to do it in silence. Rest my voice for a bit. So I'm going to be back shortly once I've dug a tunnel here. So be back soon, and hopefully I don't destroy the world with my drill here. Let's see, let's dig a smaller tunnel here. Probably something like this is going to be my best way to dig a tunnel. Yep, okay, I will see you in a bit. Okay, Just finalizing the setup here. So I got the pipe over to the area, and then it's like, hey, you forgot that you can't run a ton of pipe without having basic pipes every now and then. So I'm just going here and placing a basic pipe, and that seems to have fixed it. But let me put an extra one back here just in case, because it was a pretty long run of unrouted pipes. So there it goes. Here come a bunch of Thaumcraft related items from our various storages. Away they go, I guess, right? Alright, nice. So that's going to clear up some space over here as well, and then have everything more organized over there. And then I'm also going to be going ahead and grabbing all of my Thaumcraft stuff over here. Let's grab our quartz slivers. Hold on, were there more quartz slivers in here? There were not, at least not at the moment. Let me put this Payless crystal to process while I'm looking at it. Okay. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, okay? Okay, so, we are back, and we definitely did not throw our sword into the crucible. But I did apparently, take the, what's it called with me? Um, the dolly full of, crystals there. Basically, I went and I grabbed my player file before the server saved it, and I took a copy of it, and then I loaded the copy, so that's why I was standing back over there again. So yeah, we definitely didn't do that, and I'm definitely wasn't about to do it again, and I'm definitely gonna have to spawn a stack of, a barrel, well, not the barrel, we could just make a new barrel, but a stack of like 50 quartz slivers again. So I'll fix this momentarily. Okay, that was more or less what we had. Okay, don't throw that into the crucible again, please. Thank you. Alright, let's pick everything up over here. Maybe let me get a proper axe to do it with. Why was there so much? Oh, that's right. I put that one thing in that table. That's alright. Alright, let's bring all of this over here. There's our quartz slivers. Here's our chest full of random crystals and such. Alright. How are we doing over? Oh my goodness, that is quite full. I forgot we had a lot of amber. We have some loot bags over here as well. Some barrier stones. I feel like we can probably toss one single barrier stone. Let's do what I was going to do with this really quick before I forget. So I had the ingredients to make some essential smelteries in here. And we need the primal crystals again. Let me take that out of there. Bloop. Just pop all of those in. So here's 2 essential smelteries. We're going to be using those for our Thaumcraft shenanigans. Is there Thaumonomicon over here? Or wait, it's in our one book, isn't it? Yo, we still have stuff in here. I didn't even finish taking stuff out of here first. Let me finish doing that because, like, I'm just going to be losing my stuff if I have multiple, like, different tool bags and such that I'm trying to be looking at. These stack now, right? Yep, okay, good. I don't need this on me. Doing some quick on-camera organization. Don't need those. We'll need this. We'll need the research table. Plop that down there. Throw that in there. Throw the paper in there. Alright, mineral torches can go back in here. This is like, let me just put this in a different tab. I won't be needing that anytime soon, most likely. Most likely won't be needing that. I can probably have a different tab of tools for stuff that I'm not going to be needing very often, if at all. Finish emptying these guys out. Alright, this is all empty now. Let's see. Flint and steel is probably a rare tool. Diamond hammer is I don't need it at all. I don't need this at all. Labeler is going to be a moderate use tool, I guess. I don't know. Coils. Riot shield we do not need. Portable scanner. Haven't really needed that very much. Let's put it over there. Okay. That's a good enough attempt. Oh, and a thaumium pickaxe. Don't need that. Don't need this. That's a good enough organization of stuff for now. So we have our 2 essential smelteries, and the reason we got that is so that we can grab my Thaumonomicon here. We needed that to get this quest completed because we needed to craft an essential smeltery. So now we unlocked the research for being able to make warded jars and void jars. So this is just wood slab and then panes of glass. Void jars are the warded jar, but with some Perduccio crystal. Brass lid brace. I don't know what brass lid brace is. When used on a jar, it will prevent essentia being drawn or placed into the jar by anything other than tubes. I don't know that I want to use tubes. Tubes, like I remember, like I know how to use them, but they're a little bit of a pain to use. Let's see. Items that will be consumed. Okay, we're gonna need to make some items to actually do this research. But yeah, we will want. Let's see. Infusion. We're gonna want stone, feather, and air essentia. More or less, what we're gonna need to focus on is getting some essentia processing going, which is when we melt the items down into their fluid forms, basically. So yeah. However, at this particular time, it's actually a little late for me, so I'm going to be pausing this session here, and I'm going to be resuming this recording of this episode in a little bit. So, and by a little bit, I mean like tomorrow. So, I will get some Z's here, and then we'll continue our episode tomorrow. See you soon. Really quick before I finish hopping off, I did want to do some processing overnight as I'm leaving, so I set up a table to be able to make tiny gallium so that I can send a bunch of lapis dust and redstone dust to our phytogenic insulator and get a bunch of these red crystal shards for making annihilation and formation cores, which we're going to need for applied energistic stuff. So let's go ahead and see if that works. Let's see. Crystal shard. Let's just go ahead and request enough for like a stack of them. So, oh, let me not request it here though. Let me go request it over here so that it doesn't overflow the table overnight. So 9 stacks of that and 9 stacks of that. Missing a lapis. I thought it uses lapis dust. You do, in fact, use lapis dust. I put the wrong item in here. Well, good thing that didn't actually have enough lapis in our storage to do that, or else we would have been we would have been having to wait there to fix another recipe. All right. Blue crystal shards are on the way, and yeah, this do we not use blocking weight for empty inventory? Probably should be using that. Also, wow, this conduit is just like not quick on the uptake. Like, look how long it takes to respond to the water. Maybe we can make a fluid translocator. We do have one already. So if you use a glowstone on a translocator, you can use it to accelerate the rate of extraction. So let's see what this looks like in comparison to what we're doing over there. Also, where's my drill? Uh-oh. Let's get this bag out of my inventory. I think I might have lost my jackhammer. Was the jackhammer the thing I put in the puddle, or was that the... No, it was the sword that I put in there. Jackhammer, where have you gone? Is it in one of these other inventories? See, like, my inventories are such a mess right now. Here it is. It was in that inventory. Okay. This is like moving like angry bees over here. All right, let me break this. Put that there. I need to get under here to be able to place this. So we're going to place that there, and then I'm going to put a piece of glowstone on it. Get back upstairs. Tell that to insert, and let's see how fast this goes. I mean, honestly, I kind of just wish I had a bigger buffer. How fast are pumps? HV pump would be 1,000 liters per tick. So to get 10 liters in there, or 10 kiloliters, would be 10 ticks, which is half a second. Which is about what it's doing now, so that wouldn't really be faster. We would need like an EV pump to be able to pull off any faster, and that's going to take some stuff we could make right now, but I don't really have it automated, so it would be a little bit of a pain. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and let this shuffle items around. Oh, what the heck is happening? This looks horrible. Oh my goodness. Like, is there enough room in here for these items? Okay, well, hopefully those items we get back tomorrow and those items are crafted or something. See if we can accelerate the translocator. We can, yes. And we can give this thing so much juice that it actually runs out of power. That's funny. Well, look how fast it's processing them now, though. Geez. Alright, well, anyways. Was there anything else I wanted to do before I get off for the evening? I don't think so. See you all tomorrow morning. Oh, I lied. There was one more thing that I ran out to the Thaumcraft section and then remembered. I had ordered a gold to diamond chest upgrade over here so that I can come over here and upgrade this chest to diamond and see if we can hold more junk in it. And then maybe like merge some of these items over here because we have duplicates in places that are not stacking and we are wasting inventory space. Yeah, that seems like we cleared out a good amount of space here. Let's see if we have enough space here. Also, I don't know that we're gonna need this many amber crystals over here. I might compress them into amber blocks because we have a lot of amber. And are amber blocks used for anything? They're used for arcane lamp. They're used for this thing. We can use them in a beacon base. Like, oh, that's all fine and dandy stuff. Let's take like this many amber blocks out of here. Oh, what? Wait. Why can't we shift click into our crafting grid? That's... I mean, I guess that's like a thing that it's like, why are you trying to even do that typically? Because you don't, typically have to use your inventory crafting. But yeah, there we go. We just got rid of 6 stacks of items in here. So this should be enough to catch all of the rest of our Thaumcraft stuff. All right, now this time for real, I am going to bed. See y'all. Okay, good morning. I am back. This is my voice in the morning. Just kidding. But I do have a. You can tell probably. I just got up a bit ago. So we got all of our Redstonia and Payless crystals that crafted overnight. I suspect they didn't actually take long, but boy oh boy, there are a lot of items bouncing around in the chests. I might actually upgrade this to a bigger buffer if we do that again, because that was crazy. Get that out of there. So let's see, chest. I guess we're gonna have to do just upgrade an existing chest. So let's just make one really quick. All right. Whoops. There we go. And then I just need to wait for the upgrades to come out. And yeah, I know it's not gonna look like the other ones, but that's fine. Some plates are flattening right now. I also put some ores to process overnight. How did those do? Oh, this ran out of what's it called? Blood essence there. Whoopsie. My bad. And I don't have any in here, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's swap those cards around. So far I have commonly used tools in this tab, less commonly used tools over here. That's probably going to be a less commonly used. And then I have, we can just sort that. Over here I have building blocks, and this one is set to merge when I'm mining and stuff. And I'll probably also put ores up here whenever I go mining, and we can just use this for mining. Honestly, like, I'm thinking, do we really need this at all? Like, we might not really need this satchel anymore. Maybe I should have just upgraded this satchel instead of making an extra one, but let's try going without our satchel for a while. I am going to dump it first. I am going to want to make, like, maybe use tab 4 for monster drops when I go dungeoneering and stuff. And just, like, add stuff I want to stack up here, and it will, like, collect all the zombie flesh, etc. I'll need to figure out how to get the stuff out. Can I, like, shift right click? Hold on. Leave 1 stack of every item. Can I... What is the... Sneak right click to clear owner data. Okay, let's not do that. I just tried to shift right click it on the chest. Nope, it still has items in it. Okay. Yeah, not sure how to get stuff out of there now that I'm looking at this. Under utilities, is there like a chest that specifically you put this memory card in? And then you can suck out from there? They do have various chests here. They have a sound block, small memory chest, handy chest, memory card. Okay, I bet you have to make one of these handy chests for that. Yeah, that's probably the case. Okay. No big deal. I don't know what the difference between these handy chests would be, though. No worries. We know it exists, so that's a good start. Oh, you know what? I would actually like to make one of these. I think we have just like the stuff laying around to make one of those. Now that I remember seeing this junk storage unit, I'm like, hey, I'd like to store like my astral sorcery rock crystals up there. So let's get pulsating. Oh, we don't have any of this automated. Gross. Maybe I do that for a later adventure. Anyways, let's go check out our... Oh, and let me get some building blocks as well. Throw these payless crystals to process. I wanted to make our area look kind of like magical, but also still be kind of interesting looking, so I decided to make mineral wood planks, and mineral wood planks are going to be, I don't know, blue wood, like, looks kind of magical, am I right? Alright, yeah, I'm not going to do this for the whole area. Where do I have a replace tool? Exchanging gadget? Grab that really quick. Thank you for the exchanging gadget. Let me also put some stuff away that I don't need. We'll imminently need a lot of this stuff. Okay. So for the exchanging gadget, the way it works is that you select your target block, and then when you right-click, it exchanges. That's pretty much all there is to it. Apparently, it also strips the torch from the block if your torch is standing on it, which is a little annoying. Anyways, let's set the range bigger, and then let's replace us some blocks. I think a 30 by 30 area would be nice, so let's just go ahead and do this. Oh, that was kind of weird. Then, looks like we do not actually have enough blocks, so I'll need to go get more blocks. I severely underestimated how many we'd need, I guess. Okay, well. And then I now have all this dirt on me. I guess I should have... Oops. Don't use that mode here. Still learning how to use this. Guess I should have... Move matching items, including hotbar. Made more planks, because, yeah, clearly I did not make enough planks. I don't not want these flowers and seeds, but okay, I guess I'm stuck with them for now. This is probably gonna overload our doohickey over there. Let's do like a few stacks over here, and then a few stacks over here. And this one I have a battery in, so I'm gonna accelerate the junk out of, but it's probably gonna get that weird ticking sound bug that I have to go change dimensions to fix. I don't actually have to change don't actually have to go and go into a different logout menu. Sorry, jeez. Too early in the morning for me to be doing this. Yeah, like that buzzing we hear right now, that's just going to keep playing like that. And we made the sawmill a little bit faster. Remember these pipes under here, the small Cooper-nickel pipe, item pipe? Those only support 32 items per second, so once it puts half a stack in there in a given second, they are full, and they have to wait to accept more items. Looking through here, let's see if there's any other item stacks we could use. We could use small PVC pipes. Those accept 2 stacks per second. That would probably be an acceptable upgrade for us. But we could also make platinum item pipes. Where's the small platinum item pipe? Platinum item pipe, that's the same as PVC. So 2 stacks per second is pretty nice. Alright, let's see if we got enough wood now. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me put a piece of wood in our bar here, in our storage, and then let me chuck this out. And that should go in our storage, right? Yeah, nice. And then this is still chugging away, but it's gotten barely anything done. That's kind of funny. Okay, so now I would like to have auto restocking for these blocks. Let's see, how do you do this? Shift click, restocking mode, all. No, not all. Hotbar only. The issue is we don't have enough stuff in our hotbar. We don't have enough of these, so I need to make extra stacks. So I guess we do want all, and then let me just make multiple stacks in my inventory. Like that. And now it should automatically work. Okay. So this one was where we wanted it, right there. And then here we need to fill in right there, I believe. This one I'm going to need to change the area on. Hold up. Just do this one one by one because it kind of ended up making the shape of that shape weird. And I'll do the same over here. And then we'll set it back to 15 for this. And now we are going to have a nice designated 30 by 30 area for doing Thaumcraft. Oh, and we apparently didn't get all of the range in this direction either. Just doing a little bit of on-camera building because we haven't really done that. Oh, Thunder, you're here to ruin my day, huh? It's like, I'll show you using dirt in your construction project. Okay, let's turn off restocking mode. And then now I should be able to... Oh, you can't do Alt Q while this is deployed. That's a little annoying. Oh well. I can just toss those out one by one. Okay, so those are all stored in there now. Let's put some torches back out here. We'll have some different light sources momentarily, but for now, I would like to have some kind of light source. Just so it's not dark in the middle of the night. And then, what are we going to do? So I think the first thing I would like to do is set up some Essentia Smeltery. And I would like Essentia Smeltery and jars and storage and stuff to just go along like this edge of the wall over here. So let's start with that. Essentia Smeltery. So how does Essentia Smeltery work? You use a... you use the... Where did I put the smeltery? Are they in my inventory? I need to find the dang thing I just made, like, last night. Oh, here it is. It is in my inventory. Wow, good lord. Okay, so here's Essentia Smeltery. And I made 2 of them, just so we can process stuff in parallel. So for Essentia Smeltery to work, we need... we need also a alembic. So for alembic... clear some of the junk out here. And what does it say about alembics? Using arcane alembic. Alembics need to be placed on top of the smelter. Multiple alembics can be placed on top of each other to increase storage, but do not increase processing speed. Essentia slurry will slowly be drawn into the alembic. Okay, so we can just use a couple of alembics, I think, for each one. We don't need to use a whole bunch. So let's make like 4 of them. Do we use this for anything else? No. Okay, let's make 4. Alright, we're going to need some brass. Can we cook brass automatically? Brass. No. Okay, well, we're going to need to go make some. We're going to need some Essentia filters. That needs white carpet, gold plates. Oh, this makes a lot of them, though, so... bookmark this guy, and... I don't know, let's make 2 sets of those, because those are having additional uses besides this. Yeah, okay. So let's get... gold plate of 12. Let's get... oh, let's get a teleporter set up over here. So let's get 2 teleporters. Let's get a shard. I have 1 shard that's called home, so we're going to use one of those. And then let me get a new shard for getting over here. So home is going to go... let's put our arrival, like, over here, maybe? And then home is going to go in there. And then the one to get here is going to go right there. Seems like a good spot as any. And then we're going to go back home. And we're going to stick it over in that direction. with that shard. Okay, there we go. Now we can jump back and forth quickly. And I'm going to take a pause for a moment to do something, and then we can continue. Okay, I'm back. Didn't actually go anywhere. I just kind of sat here for like 2 minutes. I have like kind of a stomach ache, so I just like curled up and clenched my stomach for a minute. Anyways, let's see what we got over here. We got our gold plates. We're gonna need white carpet specifically, right? Yeah, and then I don't know if we have silver wood in storage. Silver wood. We do have the wood, but we don't have like any planks. So let's just grab some of those to process. I think I saw we need some great wood planks to process as well. We don't have any of those either. Well, great wood tree, I think your time has come. It is time to be felled. Goodbye. Can't even see it. Oh, it's still cutting. Thank you, Lightning, for the funny timing there of making it visible. Hopefully you got all the trees. I don't like floating trees. I'm one of those players. So, okay, we got some great wood planks now. We're not gonna need too many of these. Let's put most of it away. And let's get some of this cutting in here. Oh, I need to fix the sound in here. This is horrible. Get the silver wood I requested. I guess let me put this to process and then I can fix the sound. Alright, got some great wood and silver wood planks. I'm just going to stick that over here because that will get delivered to our Thaumcraft area. And then let's make some carpet really quick. We need 2 sets of those. I'll carry that back with me. Alright, we need brass. Let me just do like some zinc. I don't have a lot of zinc dust. Let me just use ingots here. Copper. Alright, toss these in our alloy smelter to get some zinc ingots. Zinc ingots. Hello, you would like zinc? Oh, we're not making zinc, it's brass. My bad, bro. You would like brass ingot? Here you go. My heritage is from Eastern European, so am I allowed to do that if I'm from Eastern European? I don't know, maybe. Alright, we need 4 buckets in storage by the time we get there. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna hop into the Void World. That's gonna reset sounds. Oh, flash home. So the sound on that cutting machine should be fixed now. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a little easier than going back to main menu and all that fun stuff. Okay. Me running back out here after I set a teleporter. Okay, let's do our Essentia filters. That's right, I had the planks get sent over here. Essentia filters, plop. Good stuff. And then we're going to need 8 of them now. We're going to need some great wood planks. Alright, 4 of those guys. Nice. And then I can set them up over here. Just going to have 2 per smelter. Oh yeah, I should have my thermometer over here as well. Oh, I don't. You know why? It's because it's in my junk storage unit over there, I think, because they don't stack. I should also get these over here as well. So request these and stick them in there. Yeah, I don't think thermometers stack, so that's probably why they did not come over here, because the junk storage unit is not set up to kick stuff out like this is. Okay. Oh, how did my remote order get in there? Get out of there. Okay. Where's my Thaumonomicon? We are doing... This is not a Thaumonomicon. This one. We are doing Thaumcraft. Okay, so we can do Essentia Smeltery, and we need some essences here. Okay. I would like to figure out how to get this into jars automatically, and I think for that we need this up here, this research, the Essentia Distillation, part 1 and part 2. So let's work through this. We need to get... Can I bookmark these? No. Okay. So we need to get Vitium, Vinculum, Alienus, and Alchemia vials. Do we have any of those already on us? We do have Alchemia. Alright, so we need Vitium. We need... Vitium, really? Jeez, okay. Vinculum and Alienus. So Vinculum and... Alienus. Okay, just making a shopping list here. Vinculum is pretty easy. We have these Vidium shards, and these are 1 Vinculum each, so we can go ahead and smelt one of those. What do we have for fuel? Do we have some coke? We also have Alimentum, but this is like a higher tier fuel that like speeds up processing, and right now we're not doing a whole lot of processing. I'm just like, you know, kind of dabbling over here, so I'd like to use kind of a cheaper fuel for the moment. All right, remote order Coke. We do have some Coke. Let's just grab a stack of that. And I will take half for 1 smelter and half for the other. Okay, so let's melt down the Vitium over there. And let's melt down a piece of amber for the Vinculum over here. So the Vitium should be distilling up here. As you can see, there's like a bar. Oh wait, we did not get all of the Essentia. That's right, this is not a 100% process. Great, cool. We get to put extra stuff in here instead of getting exact amounts. I love that. So put that in there to process. 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did get an exact amount of that, but this one we have some extra Vinculum there, and that's fine. We need to make some warded jars. We can start with some basic warded jars here, so let's bookmark these guys. Basic glass panes and oak wood slabs, or any kind of slab really, I guess. Slab. Can we make these on command? We cannot make those on command. Okay, well, I'll request what we have then. We'll get some panes. I hope we can make these at least. So 7, and we have 22 on the way. So let's do 14 11 times. Let's do 14 10 more times. Or I can just set the request to 140. But we need to go back and actually automate some of this stuff. How dare they make us automate stuff with Thaumcraft? Oops. Glass block makes a pane. How many is it? It's 3 blocks makes 8 panes. Okay. Alright. You're set to go now. We can request our panes. 140 glass panes. I'm confused. Why is there 20 in here? I'm not going to question it. Okay, so 140. Alright, so those are on their way, cooking up right now. But for now, I can use what I have here. Make some warded jars. Okay, and with our jars, we can pull the stuff out. There's, I forgot what that's called. Vitreous or something? I don't know. Get the rest of our glass panes. Get the rest of our jars. Alright, and then we need some files. File with a P. So to make these, we need... we could use like a regular old crafting table over here, to be honest. Let's get a crafting table. And then let's get some clay. Not clay. And what does this makes 8? Let's just get like 10 of those and then 30 glass. All right. Oh yeah, and the clay is out there in like nowhere land, so it takes a minute to get out here. All right, there we go. Make some files to start with. Here is our Vidium and Vinculum files. So now we just need Alienus. And Alienus, I think we actually, yeah, we can use this. We could also use chickens, because chickens have Alienus on them, funnily enough. But that will be our Alienus, and then that will be that research complete. Oh wait, why am I doing the research? There's probably some quest skips in here. Let me look at the quest skips, maybe. Thaumcraft. I hate research. Yes, I am world's #1 thaumaturge. Here we go. Put it on our research table. Deal with it. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna put that there. Infuse this. So this unlocks infusion. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Up to including Infernal Furnace. I think we already have Infernal Furnace. Do we not? Because, like, we made one, didn't we? Yeah, we have Infernal Furnace, so that quest shouldn't actually even do anything for us. Server gave you Bellows research and its prerequisites. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we already had that. You're an Auror now. Quest unlocks Oromancy research up to including the healing focus. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And then Golomancy research. A slight bit of warp. Honestly, I'm kind of trying to ignore warp. So, or avoid warp, so I'm not going to intentionally grab stuff with warp, because warp is kind of like, it's okay if you're using Thaumcraft and you're doing all the powerful stuff that Thaumcraft gives you, but like if you're not actually really utilizing Thaumcraft and you're just doing it on the side, like as a support mod in a big mod pack, then warp is super annoying. So I'm going to just opt out of doing that until we have an okay way to manage it. Oh yeah, we need our jars for this. Alright, just toss those jars over there for now. Alright, we have our 4 necessary files. Where's that? My alchemia file. Here it is. I was like, I did have one, right? Okay, frick, where were we? Oh yeah, we have a new chapter that showed up here, Oromancy. This is for focus effects. Honestly, I'm probably not going to be really using focus spells that much. There's some good focuses, but I'm like, whatever. Okay, so we have unlocked Essentia Tubes. It explains how to use all this stuff, and basically Essentia Tubes are complicated, to say the least. Like, they work, but you need to have like a very convoluted setup to get Essentia Tubes to work with all your pipes. So it's much better to just use golems or to use the distiller here, which is what we're going to be using. So, okay, this is... Why did I get 5 experience for that? This is improved Essentia Distiller. So slurry pump, I don't know what this makes. Placed on the side of a smelter, acts as a secondary processor, outputting refined Essentia to any alembics placed above it. Okay, so this makes this process faster, which means I should scoot this over so that it has room to have that. Can I pick it up with a dolly? Okay, we can pick that up, but not the alembics here. Move those over manually. Whoops. I guess we get to move that one over manually a second time. Okay, So we've done all of this stuff. What's next, Thaumonomicon, sir? Alright, here we go. Get those done. And improved essentia distillation. Okay, cool. So I've discovered a way to manage the flux generated by smelting by running slurry through the secondary set. Wait, that's not what I wanted. What did I want? Advanced. Oh, we want this thing over here. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, this is gonna take a minute. We need a thaumium plate. Does it need to be that kind of thaumium plate? Okay, well, we can just craft it, so I'm gonna say that's gonna be no problem. Wouldn't you know, we don't actually have any thaumium. Can I take this pickaxe and turn it back into an ingot or something? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, well, darn. What about the mining hammer? Can we recycle that? We can't recycle that either. Okay, sorry, go back into storage. We don't need you. Alright, so we're going to need our crucible. We are going to need a nitor for lighting the crucible. I'm going to use a everfull urn. We can just have this over here. Put the everfull urn behind, will be fine. And then we need the stuff to make thaumium. What's our current thaumium recipe processing look like? I was like, wait, there's an arc furnace recipe? No, that's just for recycling bits. Okay. So we can use stainless steel and get quadruple thaumium. So I might actually go ahead and do that. So let's get some stainless steel. Let's just get like 10 stainless steels. And then if you remember, for thaumium, we use sponges, chisel sponges, because they have what's needed for some reason. So for thaumium, we need, bookmark this really quick. We need 5. So for 10, let's see. Let's just get 5 of these. Okay, that was not 5, but sure. And then we also need Terra. Terra, I think we can just use, like, dirt, right? Dirt? You have Terra? Yes, you do. Okay. So let's use 9 dirt. Me summoning dirt from our storage as if we're not already surrounded by dirt. So 9 dirt and then 5 sponge chisels. And that should give us enough for 36 thaumium. Did I get my dirt out of my bag? Nope, there it is. Okay. So here we go. Very carefully. Don't dump items that aren't what I'm trying to dump. Oh. Okay, dirt. Why is this chisel not dropping in there? There we go. Alright, and then we have a bunch of excess permutatio. Let me clean that up with quartz slivers really quick. Alrighty. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Get these chisels in the bigger box over here. Okay, you can also merge these into this chest. Alright, so got some thaumium. Now we get to go back to our base and turn it into a plate really quick. Just 1 ingot of 1 plate, rather. And store the rest for now. That's going to send it over to our place. Alright, thaumium plate, and we can complete our research now, yes? Nice, okay, so this is an upgrade to the smeltery, the Essentia smeltery. But it increases the efficiency by 25%, which is nice. It says 80 to 90, but that's a 25% increase if you going by percentages. You know what I mean? And let's see what else we need. Oh, it looks like we need to do the centrifuge as well. Okay, that didn't need any, didn't need us to do anything. Alchemical automation also did not need us to do anything, just spend research. And then advanced Essentia transportation. Yay, great. Okay, so the way this works is the Essentia transfuser can take Essentia directly from a pipe network or other Essentia source and transport it to jars within 16 blocks of the direction it's facing. Emptying the Essentia transfuser does the opposite, drawing Essentia from jars within range and placing it within tubes or devices requiring Essentia. So the emptying is for emptying is what we would put on like our alchemical construct to do alchemy, and then filling is what we will put on our dudes over there to do distilling. Let's go ahead and see how this works. Well, I should probably make one. Filling transfuser. We're gonna need to make some of these guys, okay? We need a fair number of these, if I recall, so let me just make, like... Yeah, let's make, like, I don't know, 16 of these. Alright, first thing I see is iron plate. I also see Essentia valves, which is Essentia tubes. We have a bunch of tubes from that lever, funny enough, so we don't actually need... Or, that dungeon, so we don't actually need a whole lot of tubes. We will need these levers made, though, and then I will need iron plate made. Alright, and then while that's going, I'm actually going to set up some tubes over here. And if we, honestly, if we are using tubes for this, we don't even need these here. So let me go ahead and clear these out. And I haven't used tubes in Thaumcraft 6, which is what version of Thaumcraft this is, so if this doesn't work, I'll have to adjust, but I suspect this will be fine. Why are you going up there? That's not where I wanted you to go. Okay, so... something tells me this isn't going to work. I'll give it a try, though. So we'll have our filling thing over there. Is all our junk done? Okay, just... Wait, why did I make level emitters? Buddy, how did this happen? Did I not request lever? I'm so confused. We will need those, but how did we get lever? Okay, yeah, what the heck? I must have typed level, and then I thought this was a lever. That's funny. Alright, 16? Oh, I think it might actually ignore that lever, so I think we might get 17 in our chest. Yep, okay. It ignored that one because that one was already in there, and it ignores stuff that's inside of itself. Alright, we got rain again, huh? Interesting. Kind of be raining a lot. If rain is problematic, I can also always make this thing over here called Rain Be Gone, which makes there be a rain shield to prevent rain in a 5-chunk radius. So 5-chunk radius from, if I did it over here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of like having rain in our area, so I might just like put it over here next to our Lucerna ritual. Maybe just cancel the Thaumcraft because the Thaumcraft is outdoor, and I don't want to necessarily be constantly serenading in rain. Let me go ahead and make one of these. Let's go back. So rain be gone. We will need our arcane ashes. Been a while since we've used that. We'll need a wool, I saw. Make some of cloud blocks. Then we need covalence dust. Alchemy Array, Low Covalence Dust, and Cloud Block. Plop, plop, plop. Alright, there's our Rain Be Gone. That's a quest. This is called a Rain Shield. And then let's just throw it over here. In that chunk. Alright, there we go. So we still got the dark sky like it's raining, but it's not actually falling over here. And if we go all the way over here, we can see it's still falling over there. Alright, nice. So we have some calming background noise, actually. I don't hate it. Alright, let's put these guys in here really quick. Just make a whole bunch of these duders. Alright. Wait, what did that make? Directional Essentia Pipe. I don't know if we might need this, actually, for setting this up properly. I don't know. We'll mess with it once we get there. Alright, get some more pipes. Get some great wood planks. Get our iron plates, what we already have. Alright, we should be able to craft these now. Hopefully we can afford the aura for this. Ooh, this is kind of expensive. Let's put on our thaumaturgy robes that I totally didn't just steal from a dungeon and didn't craft myself. Can we make an armor stand really quick? Let's make a redstone torch, an armor stand. Just to make getting in and out of this suit a little bit easier. So I'll put it behind our table here, put the legs and the body there, and then put a redstone torch. And now if we shift click, boom, change our whole armor. So that made it so we can craft like one extra one of these. Alright. I'm gonna just finish crafting these. Gonna need more ordo shards though. Gonna finish crafting these up. Might take a while for the aura here to regenerate. I do not think we can accelerate this. Like, I think if we accelerate it, like, doesn't work properly. Yeah, because it's like recharging from the atmosphere. It's not recharging from... It's not like charging it out of thin air. The atmosphere is providing it. Charging it out of thin air and providing it from the atmosphere are like the same thing. Alright. Be right back while those craft up. Also, don't think I didn't forget about this. I mean, I did, but now we've amended it, so that chest is upgraded now. I just came back here to make a dispenser, and we needed some brass plates, and we needed some iron plates. The iron plates I'm going to just send to remote storage. Iron plate. 2, please. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Whoop, take the dispenser, too. Don't do a thing. Thinking I'd really like to push through all the way to having some semblance of infusion actually ready to go, so that we can do like our first demo infusion and then be like, okay, I'm going to do more of this off camera. But we will see how far I get, I guess. Really draining the vis in this chunk here. Alright, and how much does this cost? 100? Alright, so we're just gonna need to wait a second for this. Oh, we need to get our iron plate anyways. Good thing we tried. Stick that in there. We need air and aqua. Those are in there. So now we just need to wait here a second for this to charge up to 89, and we will have our thing here. Also, quest-wise, what is quest-wise we're supposed to be doing here? Okay, oh, hey, we get a free alchemical construct from that. Alright, there we go. We got the filling thing. It actually wants us to go ahead and do the runic matrix as well, so I guess let's do that really quick. Alright, this looks oddly specific and annoying to make. We need to make some of these resonators, it looks like. And in fact, we're going to need a handful of them. So let me go and we're going to need to figure out how to get that out of our processing without, like, messing stuff up. So quartz, we don't have, right? Quartz. Oh, you know what? We have quartz. We're okay. Does it require a specific kind of quartz, though? It needs quartzite specifically. Okay. Honestly, we don't need to stress it. We can just cut a piece of quartzite down with a cutting saw. So we're gonna do that. And then this is gonna make 8, and this needs 4 times 8, so let's get 32 silver plates cooking up into our storage here. We can make silver plates, right? Alright, 32. Seriously? We never automated silver plate, apparently. I mean, why would we if we didn't need it? But still, Silver ingot makes silver plate. Throw that up here. Okay, silver plates on the way. Cut our quartzite while we're standing right next to our cutting saw. There's our log quartzites that we're gonna need. Get all this sawdust out of here. Okay. That's gonna go into its appropriate barrel down here. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, I carved out this area. This is gonna be future fuel processing area once we start using distillation towers and stuff and oil processing and such. But yeah, that exists down there. I just forgot to mention it. Okay. Yes, time for Thaumcraft, finally. Silver plates are cooking up. What else are we going to need for this guy? We're going to need steel plate. Steel plates. We're going to need hardened leather. Alright, got those. We are making the resonator. Oh, do we need a thermometer? Oh man, come on. Why you do this to me? Let's get... Do we need more thermometers? We have one of those. Let me just make a handful of thermometers, to be honest. Orb. We don't have any orbs, apparently. Let's make a few of those. It's got to cut the glass, too. Well, I mean, at least it's automated, right? Otherwise, I'd be running over there and putting glass in the machine by hand. How do we do this again? We use a knife on silverwood bark. Okay. Do I have a knife in storage? I do not. We have to go out here and grab... Well, I mean, we don't have to grab that one, but I'm going to go ahead and grab the one we already have. I don't know why I took the panes. We need the orbs. We need gold plate times 16. This is like a lot of what I do off camera, looks like, is just running around scrounging for items. Alright, got our orbs there. Let's get a silverwood bark going over here. So I was like, oh no, did I cut all of my silverwood? I did not, thankfully. Alright, got some silverwood barks. Roof. Go stick this in here. Is our gold done? Come on, gold, get with the program. What's taking so long? Do we have some stuff we can get rid of in our inventory? Let's see, we can keep... We don't need 2 exchanging tools, never mind. I didn't realize we already had one on us. Don't need a dirt block. We don't need 2 pieces of carpet. Probably don't need a single bucket. Okay. Got that organized a bit more. Our gold is done. Let's make this. Put on the discount robes just in case we need to make more stuff in this. Oh yeah, this does in fact not stack. Okay, so we've got several of these now. Alright, can we make our gauntlet? No, because we have to make these first. Okay. Oh, these are rather pricey to make. Alright, be back again once I finish crafting these. Okay, our last one is just coming in, and then now we have to craft the gauntlet. And, oh yeah, that's going to take somehow. Oh, I can organize this away in the meantime. Still charging up for that, huh? We are going to need the infusion matrix next, so I should start looking at what that requires. It's called matrix. Okay, runic matrix is just niter and arcane stone bricks, which is this arcane stone in a 4x4. Seems easy enough. So let's get arcane stone, and I think we're going to need some for our actual infusion as well. So we'll need 8 for the infusion and then 4 for the matrix. Oh, it's over here. It just pulled it over there and it's sending it all the way over there now, huh? Whoops, well. Yo, what was that? Don't throw the item out of my crafting table. Jeez. Rude. Alright, got our gauntlet. Now we need our matrix. Gonna need a piece of nitor. We can just use our yellow nitor here. Okay, 133 cost. How's our quest doing over here? Triple meat treat. Ooh, okay. Uh-oh, what's going on here? It's not charging anymore. It's charging like incredibly slowly. Isn't there like a map overlay? Toga, Aura, and Flux. So Aura is what this table is using to craft, right? If I pick up the table, which I cannot do, but if I move it 1 block to the left over here, we should be able to craft it, right? Because that's a different chunk. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Very annoying to have to move my stuff over here again. Yep, there's 150 available here. Okay, cool. I'll just use the aura from that task, or from that chunk. And we got our runic matrix. Let's go set up our runic matrix. I think I'm just gonna plop it. What's the range of the runic matrix? Does the Thaumanomicon say exactly what it is? It doesn't seem to say. Let me look it up on a wiki really quick. Okay, I found a wiki article. Apparently it is 12 blocks. So, let's just see. I don't know where we're gonna have all our jars and stuff. Let me just scoot it over like here. It's a 12 block radius. So let's go like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This seems like comically far away from my jars. Maybe I have it a little closer, actually. Okay, so to build this guy, you need to do some arcane stone. Yeah, this seems like a fine place to have it. It's kind of generally centered in our little area here. Actually, I'd like to scoot it over this direction. Alright, throw that there. You need a pedestal. And then we need the matrix on top. Just stick my remote order there, and then I should just be able to hit it with the gauntlet, and... Oh, no, it's not the gauntlet. It is Salus Mundus. Alright, there we go. We should have a working infusion altar. Nice. Okay, I'd like to do some kind of infusion, just to be like, hey, we did it on camera. Let me put some torches down. But before we can really do infusions, we're going to need to stabilize the altar. Basically, when you start doing infusions, it gets unstable, and you need to have stabilizers around the altar to make your infusion not fail and not be blasting your items off and all this fun stuff. So we're going to have to build some infusion stabilizers first. That's going to include tallow candles. We can use tallow candles. We can use these, what are these called? Sconks? Sconces? I don't know. What is this word? We can use these. We can use heads, like mob heads. Creeper head? What are they called? Yeah, head. Why did head not pull up anything? Oh, here they are. We can use these heads up here. So all of those will act as infusion stabilizers. We can also use Botania pillars, I believe, if we want. But I think I'm gonna put my stabilizers underneath just so that they're immune to, like, I don't know, liquid spills, lightning, etc. So I will be back once I have some crafted up. Or will I? I just saw the episode length. I'm like, gee, we're 100 minutes into this recording. Maybe I set up our altar for actually doing the infusions next time, or I make the stuff and then I set it up next time and then we do an infusion. So yeah, let's do that because this episode's already long enough. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Oh yeah, let's test if this works first of all. I'm gonna suspect this probably isn't gonna work, but we'll see. Here, let's get a piece of amber and see if we can melt this down. And while that's melting down, let me get a sponge chisel and see if we can melt those down in the other alembic or if it's going to cause a traffic jam. That's how these tubes work. They're like weird little traffic jam things. So what's going on in the pipe here? Like, I think there's a conflict here because it is not taking from this alembic, it is not taking that from over there. We have permutatio, which was from the sponge, but where's, like, hello, where's your other stuff? So I think it's trying to get both of them at the same time and it's having a conflict. I think we can fix this maybe really quick. Let me just fix this before I go to what I need to do. So let's make one of these really quick. Let's make a buffer is what it's called. So 2 of these, 1 of these. We need an iron plate and then 4 of those. Iron plate. Alright, that'll just take a second to cook up. Oh yeah, arcane stone. Here, put that back in this chest. I can't believe I requested it from this chest over there. Silly me. There's our iron plate. Let's craft our buffer. Oh, we need a restricted tube. Okay, this is not a problem. We are just going to take one of these and stick it up here. Wait, how do you make this restricted tube? Oh, I guess we have to take the aqua out. That's kind of awkward. Awkward. No pun intended. Okay, so we have an essential buffer here. So if I put a buffer here, I believe that should now collect the stuff, and then this should be able to send it out. And we need another jar as well. That also might have been the issue. All right, what's your problem now? Is there more essentia here? Oh no, it's going. Okay. All right. Okay, that seems to be working. All right, next time, more Thaumcraft. See you then.